Today's episode of Rewind and Press Forward. Today we're going to be speaking about a subject that's probably near and dear to everybody. It's taking the leap of faith. That means either stopping what you're doing right now and going to do something else that kind of really trips your trigger, or you didn't have a choice and you had to stop what you were doing and you're trying to figure out the path that you should go in. So today, to help me out with that, is Miss Laurynda Colman.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. Welcome for hanging out.
Thank you for having
Today's
me.
mixtape, I'm going to start calling episodes mixtapes because, you know, it's all about the DJ background and everything to me is a mixtape, and we'll get to that anyway. So, first of all, you are what we would call a corporate veteran.
I would say so.
You were somebody that was in the corporate world, and now you are no longer there.
Yes.
But did you leave voluntarily, or was it something that actually made you take a jump? You know, so like I said, how long did you stay in that career?
Oh, so back in my day, you could graduate high school, work, go into a workforce, make a decent amount of money, and just, ride it out. So what I did was I graduated high school at age, 17, 18, and I started working for this company, a corporate company, for about 19 years unofficially, 18 officially, because I was a temp first. So I worked there from the age of 18 to 37. That was the only thing I knew. That's veteran stays, right? So yes.
So that is the only thing so what happened?
Oh, so I think for me what happened was, I think it was God's planning, but I didn't know it at the time. So I come from a family where you might have 3 or 4 generations in one household. That's sometimes, in our community, something like, well, kick them out at 18. My family wasn't like that. So I lived at home with my mom till I was in my mid-30s. And so she was like, get a part-time job, Laurynda, you'll make some more money and have money saved. And so I did. That's when the journey started, unknown to me. And so I was able to save a decent amount of money. And so when COVID happened in 2020, I was at a job where I knew I didn't want to grow. I didn't want a higher position. I was just pretty much riding to retirement. I couldn't make no more money because I was maxed out. So I was just kind of riding on cruise control.
So you didn't feel motivated at all?
No.
It was just literally that go to work, come home, that endless cycle.
Yes.
I hear so many people talk, what you doing, man? Nothing, just working.
Yes, exactly. And so what ended up happening was, and I just was kind of just waiting to retirement because I was so at that particular company, you met the rule of 45, right? 75, which means you have to have the years of service plus age. So I was just kind of riding time because I could retire at 46. So I didn't have long because I had started so young.
So bad.
Yeah, so I was just kind of cruise control. I was just waiting to retire and move on to the next thing because by that time, I'm in my mid to late 40s. It's going to be about anywhere from 28 to 30 years of service because I had started at 18.
So now you're so close to the finish line. Was there a catalyst? What pushed you to all of a sudden you take the leap of faith to change up everything?
I think for me, what happened was COVID, right? So COVID happened in 2020, and when you looked on Facebook, when you looked on different things, it was like everybody was dying. Like you didn't know somebody who didn't lose somebody.
We all did too. People that you just would not expect. Just yeah.
It was like every time you cut on social media, RIP to somebody, COVID this, funeral this, So it was just like, and so what happened to me was I actually lost somebody. I lost my brother in 2020 to COVID. And he was a local DJ in the Dallas area, kind of known. And so at that point, he lived his life. He lived his dream. That's all he did. From high school on out, he was the DJ in the club, DJ on the DJ scene, mixtapes, all that. And so for me, it was just like, if he could live his dream, why can't I?
What was that dream that you wanted to
do? I think the dream for me was entrepreneurship, but I didn't know what that looked like, right? And so I remember like what I did know, I wanted something different. I wanted something different than this. Because it was the same routine every year after year. You go to work, then something happen, you get stressed out, the anxiety, you have to take like a little mental health break, come back, refresh, do it all again. And it always happened around September to October for me. So it was like 2 or 3 years straight. I kid you not. So around this time, I was like, I started looking at barber videos. And I used to watch barber videos for hours on ends. And I've always been fascinated with haircut. But I also was one of them people that didn't really care about hair. Like, I get out, put on anything and everything. Didn't care if my hair was combed, none of that. That's me. So I said, when God made me a barber, he had a joke. That's the joke. Because everybody knows. Laurynda Colman, I don't care about nothing.
You're just in the building.
You better be happy I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I inquired about two things. I was thinking about doing data analysis because I was really into like reading stocks and wanted to understand how to read data and tracks and charts and things of that nature.
Look at me, because I hate math. I mean, I love balancing the checkbook and doing budgets, but what you just said,
yeah,
I really didn't understand it. You didn't speak English.
So I was really interested, and I was like, I might do like a data, data science boot camp, and I saw the price, and I was like, I can't justify the price for how long it was, and then I inquired about barber school.
So barber school, did you have anybody did you have any fans, anybody encouraging, or did you have any doubters? Like, if you're doing something right, to say you have haters, but what was your support unit like as you were to pivot and go to something different?
Okay, so what I did do, so when I went and inquired about barber school, and then like the next day they changed my schedule. So then I was like, I'm not gonna be able to sign up. And so I remember the owner of the barber school was like, it's going up. the price is going up. And I was like, you gonna miss this COVID special? I was like, I can't miss the COVID special now.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
Scarcity. They got to make it sure it's
But the price did go up though.
So you wasn't lying.
You wasn't lying. Okay, so, and I remember sitting with my community, the people that I would, if I needed money, if I needed, some place to stay, whatever, if times got hard, that I could lean on, is this okay? Because when you do something, when you leave a company, when you start the transition, I always tell people, don't lead with emotion, have a plan. Don't let them trick you out your position. Because a lot of times people get upset and they'll be like, I'm finna quit. What's your plan? That's irrational. Why make temporary, why make temporary, permanent decisions on temporary emotions?
Yeah.
And you ain't planned it out, and now you done tricked yourself out at least unemployment. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get it if you quit. So I got my community, and so they was like, okay, is y'all cool with it? They was like, yeah, you got this.
So did they support you the whole year?
The whole time.
Okay, so what were some of the highs and the lows as now you've made this journey into barber school? I mean, now you're talking about, because I look at, anytime you say school, like think about nursing and all that, this sacrifice is like crazy with time and family and all that. How were you able to not only balance with this new path you're going down, how did you stay motivated?
So when I tell you God had been preparing me 2 years prior, but I didn't know I was being prepared. And I say that to when my mom said, go get that part-time job. What I did was I saved my money. So when the time came for me to talk to my community about this transition, they said, how much money you got saved? Oh, I got at least 2 years. Okay. I was good. And the other person was like, I need you to get a part-time job. If you do that, we got it. And that's what I did.
When you look at it as far as you have a affiliate club, you have a tribe, you have a crew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think how important that was that, like close friends, people that ride or die for you. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you see your ride or die, your 2 day ones when it comes to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So many people are so busy trying to talk you into staying stagnant like them versus trying to push you. But it seems like not only were they pushing you, they were making sure that you were having a plan.
Yeah. But I tell you, all you need is one person to say yes. That's it. Because I remember I had an old supervisor. Me and her was working a part-time job together that I had, got, and she needed a part-time job. So I said, get on work with me. And what we were doing, we were flipping buildings, event setups and cleanup. That's what I did. And I remember she came to me one day and she was just like, I want to be a truck driver. She in her mid-40s. I said, okay. She said, you ain't got nothing? I said, no. That's not my dream. That's not my calling. That's your life. Why would I sit here and kill? If that's something you want to do, why would I say, nah, man, girl, that's crazy. That ain't my position. That ain't my position to say that. I'm gonna do is say you got it. You got, so you got to do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't live your life for other people, and even though they might not see the vision, that don't mean you can't see it.
So with this vision, how long did it take you to get to barber school?
Oh man, when I went into barber school, I'll say this. when I signed up for barber school, I knew I was gonna have to quit my job because I wasn't finna take forever to get this done. So I went in knowing that I was gonna quit my job, and so I started barber school in January. In March, I had quit my full-time job of 19 years.
So you was it.
Hey, at that point,
You had no choice though, right? Because was the schedule grueling at barber school, or is it just that you wanted to focus more on your craft?
so the job that I was at, they sent how can I say this? They sent a letter. So you remember when they had the snowstorm?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Texas lost power, and we were sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, they sent a letter that was like they had to close. Like it was the employees' fault that they had closed the building. It wasn't the employees' fault, but that's what they told it. Right, and at that point, I realized that these people don't got lights, they don't got water, and you worry about a building and not about your people, your personnel. How can I continue to pour life into people? Speak, because I was a lead at the time. Pour life into people, speak life into people, and then you snatch the rug from under them. Because you're telling them you don't care about them. You're telling me that you don't care about me. But I tell people all the time, even in business, is we all have choices. As easy as they keep you employed, as easy as you can leave. Now, I ain't going to say you're going to have some challenges, some ups and downs. It might be hard to find a job, but it's still a choice. And so I chose at that point, you ain't finna tell me you don't care about me too many times, because my mind frame had changed. Because now I had something to look forward to. Sometimes in life, you just need something to look forward to. That's it. You need something to say, okay, this is what I need. Let me say it like this. My mind, I got something else more important. You know when they say find your why. So it's like you got to find your why. And so once you find your why, then your focus starts to become on that why.
So what was your intention after you graduated?
My story a little different. Okay, so again, I started had a little money saved up before I started this process. So I went to a barber school where the guy owned the barbershop.
Done.
I bought into his barbershop. And so we would split dividends we would split the proceeds every quarter.
The business of barbering off the rip.
Yeah, so that's why I say my story a little different. That eventually the barbershop ended up closing. He kind of cashed me out and I moved on. That's how I ended up in the salon suite. So that's why I say my story is a little bit different than just, going out of barber school, going straight into,
It's okay, but I'm gonna stay right here. So you bought it, like did you get out of barber school and be like, yo man, here's a check, let me get that,
Pretty
check
much.
with it? Really?
Pretty much.
All right, how did you get clientele?
Every day in the shop. Walk-ins, that's where you start. But even then, when I was in barber school, I used to give up because I wanted to get better. So for before I even I would go to school, and then Sunday he would come up here and watch me cut hair. And every Sunday for about 3 or 4 months, I would give up my Sundays and just cut hair. And whatever he asked me to do, I would sweep. Whatever he did to make his job easy. That's what I did because I wanted to learn. I wanted to be a study of the craft. So not only did I not go to barber school during the week, I was also taking my weekend, my Sundays, and just coming up there and just watching him cut because he was a great barber. He is a great barber to this day. And I would just watch him cut, and that's just kind of how I got going.
So what did you pick up from him by spending all that time, your free time, just by watching or participating, by cleaning? What do you think you got from him as far as your style of cutting or your approach? That's the word I'm looking for. Your approach.
I think the most important thing I got from him at the end of the day is customer service.
There you go.
That's it.
That's nice. And that's the most important thing. If you want retention, if you want them to come back.
Because one thing about barbering is, I tell anybody when they ask me, it's all about reps. Getting your reps in. Just repetition. That's the only thing you can do. And then you feel like there's something you're weak at, find a shop that's strong at it, and just submerge yourself in that culture and just get your reps in.
Do you do things to set yourself apart, or is it just delivering customer service and a good haircut?
So my tagline is, it's not just a cut, it's an experience. And so for me, the experience is, the reason why I chose barbering was because I wanted to empower people. I'm naturally an introvert. I stay to myself, a homebody type person. But when you sit in that chair, you don't know what type of impact you can have on a person's life. You don't know if they're about to commit suicide. You don't know if they're going through a divorce. You don't know if their mama, their daddy just died. You just don't know. You don't know. You could have a preacher in your chair 1 minute and a convicted murderer the next. They all people to me. They all people.
I posted a few days ago, I was getting a haircut, and I literally called it therapy session. No more, no less. And I mean, do they have a section of barber school that have a little bit of a therapist certification? Because literally, I don't know if it's just because you're an ear or what is it, but how much of that is a part of what you do?
I think that's what people find. That's what people connect with me. That's my tribe. Because when you sit in my chair, I done prayed for people. I done told people, cry, get it out, but you ain't finna have me crying, so hurry up. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I try to do for me is provide a safe space. I don't judge, talk your talk, do whatever you want to do, just don't be disrespectful. And just it allows people a safe space to come and just let it go and release it. Because, you could be feeling down when you get in that chair, but when you get out that chair, they did it right, you lucky, you shaking your head, you feel like you worth something.
Right.
And that's how much of a haircut, and it's only 30 to 45 minutes could change a whole person's life. And I've had those people. I've had people who've been convicted murderers and preachers in my church. Maybe not at the same night, back to back, but just during the course of a service, I treat them all to say, what is your story? What's your testimony? And sometimes you don't know. Sometimes that's all they got. I've had somebody say, yo, I'm thinking about committing suicide. And man, can I just pray for you? And I'm praying while I'm cutting their hair. And then I say, can I pray for you? And you okay if I pray? And they be like, yeah. And we'll pray right there. Because you just never know what people are going through. And, when you're dealing with COVID time, everybody was in their own place. They wasn't really interacting. They wasn't really mingling. And so you get an opportunity to give 45 minutes to somebody, hopefully. They care enough about you to give you what you want. That's what a customer service is. And then while you sit in my chair, I'm pouring into you. When I was in barber school, sidebar, the owner of the school, they call me Coach. That's my barber name. And that's because...
As I mentioned, that's how I was introduced to.
Yeah, because they call me that because I used to give business advice to the owner in barber school. So, and so when you come in my chair and you come talk, we're going to talk, and you're going to get some coaching. Now, what that coaching may look like, it might be life coaching, it might be business coaching, how you can better your business, whatever, or things like that, but you're going to get something out of it. And so it's the experience. It's not just about the haircut for me.
The one thing that's cool about that, I call it season 2.0 because you didn't live some life.
Yeah.
You didn't have some experiences. Even though you're starting over in the second half, but that's just the one thing that you have to deliver is my grandmother used to always call it, I done been to where you trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, with you're able to share your knowledge, with you're able to share your experiences, I mean, they're walking out of there with a little bit of wisdom and a fresh cut.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's pretty much what I offer.
If I had a barbershop, that's what I called it, wisdom and a fresh cut.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
you might need to trademark that one, bro.
You put on a t-shirt? That would be a dope t-shirt. Think about that.
And I do a little graphic designer like you, so I might need to go ahead and brand it.
Did you take any nuances from what you did in corporate America for those 19 years? Were you able to use any of that into what you transitioned into now?
So when I was in corporate, I think for me, I always try to put myself in their shoes, right? So when you're dealing with management sometimes, they'll give you the task, but they don't know how to do the task. So they might be setting unrealistic expectations for you without knowing it because they've never done the job. And so what I try to do in my life and everyday life is I'm only going to do what I'm willing to do. So I'm always going to think about the other person. If I was in that person's position, how would I go about it? How would I do things? How would I manage it? And so so I've always been a people's person. So when I told my employees to do something, they do it because they knew I had good intentions. I wasn't just telling them because, to meet status quo. It was because I really needed them to do it, and they knew it was fair. So I didn't treat anybody no different. Everybody was the same. I had a relationship with Yes. Now I'm talking in process at the same time. Yeah. Okay. So what I did when I was a lead, I tried to find something about each one of the employees that I worked with so that I connect with them. And so when you sit in my chair, I try to find at least something that I could connect with you with. And once I find that one thing that we connect, talk whether it's sports, whatever, then I build from that. And so when you do that, you start to make a personal relationship with that person. And now you on common ground, and then you start finding more and more and more because now you're interested. Now whether you're interested in it or not, now you interested in what they're talking about, and then now y'all could build from that conversation. And so I think that's what I do is try to connect with the people while they're in my chair, so that we can build from that. Because at the end of the day, barbering, whether you're in barbering, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're in any job, it's still a relationship. Just like you could have toxic relationships with your partner, you could have toxic relationship at work. It's the same relationship. It's just different.
Did you have any regrets making the jump, going into what you're doing right now?
I wish I was, because right now I'm in a salon suite. So 100% entrepreneur at this point. Not 100%, but yes. Yeah, dolo solo. I think for me, I wish I would have understood the journey. Because when you talk about entrepreneurship as a whole, they show you the destination. They don't show you the journey. Right? So I wish people were more honest about the journey.
In what sense? Like how hard it actually is, how easy it is, how to figure it out. Like where is the dishonesty, or just where is the disconnect when you're saying that you wish they were more honest with the journey?
Because when you're dealing with entrepreneurship, for me, there's a level of vulnerability and openness that comes with that, right? Because this is your baby. And when I come to you and say, can you buy this service or this product? And I've created it from scratch. I'm allowing you in, right? And so, but I'm allowing you, that means there's a level of me that has to be vulnerable to you. But what if I have rejection issues? What if I have daddy issues? What if I have mommy issues? What if I have these things that I have to now, but think, am I good enough? Like, that part you don't talk about. Am I worthy? So what if somebody say, no, I don't want that, or no, I don't like that haircut? How do I internalize that? Because that's all part of entrepreneurship, right? We don't talk about that side of vulnerability. And so when I tell people that say entrepreneur, I say, how vulnerable can you be? Because everybody not gonna like you. Everybody not your tribe. So how do you be okay and be vulnerable enough to let somebody in to know what you do in hopes that they would at least give you a try?
Did you have any of those issues stand in your way and slow you down as you would?
Oh, yes. So I feel like what entrepreneurship does, and I could be wrong, but this is just for me, it exposes the good and the bad. So if you have rejection issues and you're providing a service, say you're a caterer, and they don't like your food, then what? How do you internalize? How do you push through that and keep moving forward? Are you willing to show up when there's no money there? Are you gonna still show up when you don't know how you gonna pay your bills, rent, and you got all this going on? Like, are you still gonna be committed to the process even when it don't look like it should be? It was a sermon I listened to one time. It's called "I Don't Need a Job" by Jamal Bryant, Dr. Jamal Bryant. And what he tells us is, in the sermon, anybody that has an issue, toxic work environment, I would suggest listen to the sermon. Because what he does, he says, we're so used to conforming our life around a job. And in the sermon, he said, God said, do his work. Just work the work that is in you. Right? And so I took that concept. So when I worked at my job, I'll tell anybody, your mind will lead before your body do. And so because of that, you have to plan it out, prepare for it. If you're ready to leave your job, don't leave on emotion. Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. Because in anything, any relationship, anything, you're going to have good and bad days. It ain't always going to be good, but it ain't always going to be bad. And so you're at a point in your life where you're really ready to transition out of that job or not feeling stuck. Have a plan and work the plan and be committed no matter what. Have a no matter what mentality and start to put things in systems and things in place so that could happen. Because it ain't going to happen overnight. And that might mean get another job, part-time job, and save your money. That might mean you might put so much aside. You might have to, do whatever you have to do. Get with your community. See if you can downsize. See if you can, do some different things in your life in order to get to that point. But it's definitely going to have to be a plan, because that's what I had to do. I had to plan it out. I didn't just say, I'm going to go to barber school and I'm just going to quit. What does that look like? What does that look like for me financially? What does that look like for me, my living situation? What does that look like for me in different aspects of my life? And then I had to get with my people. Like, what did they think about it? Like, do you feel like this is feasible? Because sometimes we can set unrealistic expectations. And then also say, what is your gift? What is your calling? How big is your imagination? Because you can't say, well, I don't make this much. I say, the pay sucks. Okay, well, how big is your imagination? Only as limited as your mind to go, as far as your mind to go. So are you basing it just off of this? Or is your imagination bigger than this, and figure out a way to monetize your imagination? I mean, we live in a time where you can always make money. Now, it might not be the money you want to make. You might have to take a pay cut. But then I say, what's the quality of life do you want? Because some people might rather get paid less and have peace. And some people might want to get paid more and have stress. So what quality of life you want in this season? Because money isn't everything. So you have to really figure out what quality of life do you want in this season. If you're wanting to change, what's the plan to change it? How are you going to execute that plan? And who is your support system? Because at the end of the day, all you need is one guess. You only need one person really to believe in the vision. And if you don't, just keep that between you and God. But you just really need somebody to say, man, okay, I can see it. I don't know if I agree with it, but I support you. That's all you need.
All right, Laurynda, I want to thank you very much for coming by for this episode of Rewind and Press Forward, especially for those that are looking at making that leap of faith.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to keep following up with you. We have some things to talk about later, so we can definitely do that. But the gems you dropped were very, very valuable. And I hope it motivates other people to don't be scared to change your path.
Man, every day you wake up, God gives you the opportunity to change your life. That's it. That's it right there.
Well said. Until next episode, y'all. Peace out.